Greetings and good day I bid to Madam Izate. Today, me and my other friends, which are Fatin Asyiera and Nadhirah Karmila, are going to present our topic, which is the National Preschool Curriculum Standard. Without further ado, I'm going to present the first point, which is the objectives. There are 9 objectives that can be found in the curriculum standard. So the objectives are: use language to communicate effectively, practice Islamic values in daily life for Muslim peoples, practice moral values of the Malaysian society, appreciate and show sensitivity towards the various cultures of Malaysian society, love and appreciate the environment, practice a healthy lifestyle, develop physical fitness and ensure personal safety, develop creativity and aesthetics, and the last one is apply critical, creative and innovative thinking and problem-solving skills in learning as well as in daily life. The next one is the National Preschool Standards-based Curriculum Framework. There are communication, spirituality, attitudes and values, humanity, personal competence, physical development and aesthetics, and science and technology. In communication strand, it emphasizes the verbal and non-verbal communication in interaction. In spirituality, attitudes, and value strand, it gives priority to the appreciation of religious practices, beliefs, attitudes, and values. For the humanity strand, it's emphasized on the acquisition of knowledge and practices of the local community and the environment, the country, and the world, as well as insisting patriotism and unity. In personal competence strand, it emphasizes the development of socio-emotional, interaction skills, and social skills amongst peoples. In the physical development and aesthetics strand, it emphasizes physical development and health for personal well-being and nurturing of imagination, creativity, talents, and appreciation of arts among peoples. And the last one is the science and technology strand, which emphasizes in scientific knowledge, skills, and attitude, as well as mathematical knowledge and skills. This strand comprises of early science and early mathematics. The focus of the National Preschool Curriculum Standard are producing pupils who are able to communicate and socialize with confidence, and also it is hoped that pupils will be able to face challenges and solve problems, are eager to learn, and ready for further learning. The next one is for the children with special needs. First of all, we need to identify pupils' level, difference in learning, and their needs. Second is to prepare portfolios, to compile works, and to record pupils' development. Next is to diversify learning content and activities. And the last one is to modify learning resources based on pupil needs. Teachers also can use the Special Needs Children Placement Instrument, which is 4 to 6 years, to identify pupils with learning difficulties. Next is the elements across the curriculum. There are 10 elements that can be found in this curriculum standard. The first one is the medium of instructions. Emphasis should be given to pronunciation, sentence structure, grammar, and the terminology of language. The second element is the environmental sustainability. It is to develop awareness towards the love of the environment and also the knowledge and awareness on the importance of the environment. So the third one is values. encompass the aspects of spirituality, humanity, and citizenship. The fourth one is the science and technology. Knowledge of science and technology, scientific attitudes, scientific skills, and use of technology in teaching and learning is very important for this element. The next one is patriotism. It is for to develop love for the country and to be proud to be a Malaysian. The sixth one is the creativity and innovation. Two interconnected and needed to ensure the development of human capital. Next is entrepreneurship. It is to be embedded during lessons through fostering attitudes such as diligence, honesty, trustworthiness, and responsibility. Next is ICT. The application of ICT motivates pupils to be creative, stimulates interest, and making the teaching and learning enjoyable. Next is the global sustainability. First, it is essential in preparing pupils to face challenges and current issues, and also taught directly or embedded in related lessons. The 10th and the last one is financial literacy. It is aimed at developing future generations who are capable of making sensible financial decisions. Next is school-based assessment. It can be conducted as formative and also summative assessment by teachers. So what is formative assessment? Well, formative assessment can be conducted during teaching and learning process. It is meaning that we teach the students during the learning process and also during teaching them. For example, giving them tasks or making them to draw a mind map about the topic that they learn for today. Summative assessment can be conducted at the end of a learning unit, term, semester, or year, such as end of semester exam, or maybe the middle year semester of test. So the aims of assessment in preschools are, first, to monitor the growth and development of pupils according to their age. Next is to identify pupils' level of intelligence and potential to strengthen and enhance their holistic development. To identify pupils' strengths and weaknesses, and also provide feedbacks to pupils, parents or guardians, and also the school management on pupils' growth and development. Identify the effectiveness of teaching as well as learning opportunities and the environment provided. And the last one is to assist teachers to plan effective follow-up actions to develop and maximize pupils, assist in pupils' learning, and also to improve teaching methods. Let's go to the spirituality, attitudes, and value strength. The first one is the Islamic education. Islamic education emphasizes the basic mastery of the Quran and Jawi, manifestation of faith, which is Aqidah, internalization of tenets of worship, enrichment of good manners and morality, and introductions of surah. So upon completion of learning activities in Islamic education, pupils can first recognize hijayah letters, memorize short Quranic verses, and acquire basic Arabic language. The second is to understand the basic tenets of faith and worship of Allah. The third one is to know the surah and attributes of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sorry if I pronounced that wrongly, peace be upon him, and emulate him. The fourth one is to practice good manners and morality in life. And the last one is to read and write Jawi correctly. Next is the moral education. Moral education focuses on developing individuals with moral values based on these three domains, which are the moral reasoning, moral emotions, and moral behavior. What does the meaning of these three domains? Let me explain it to you. So the first one is the moral reasoning. Moral reasoning is to have the mental ability to identify good from bad behavior and right from wrong behavior. The second one, which is the moral emotions, is where the consciousness of moral feelings raise the awareness of practicing good and appropriate behavior. And the last one is the moral behavior, which means the moral actions that relate to moral reasoning and moral emotions, which done with responsibility, accountability, and integrity. So these three domains need to be applied with the 14 universal values. So the 14 universal values are believe in God, kindness, responsibility, gratitude, courtesy, respect, love, fairness, courage, honesty, diligence, cooperation, moderation, and tolerance. Upon completion of learning activities in moral education, pupils can, first, understand the values practiced by the Malaysian society. Second, appreciate and practice courteousness in their daily lives. And the third one is foster close ties with members of society to strengthen unity. Next is personal competence strength. Personal competence strength emphasizes on knowing and managing one's emotion as well as building social skills. So upon completion of learning activities in the personal competence strand, pupils can first know oneself, also manage one's emotion and control one's behavior. Third one is to respect the various emotions and views of others. Fourth is to develop social skills for community living. And the last one is to develop confidence in facing various challenges. So, the slide that is attached is the performance standard for the personal competence standard. They are called KD1, KD2, KD3, KD4, KD5, KD6, and KD7. All of these has their own construct and performance level and also the descriptor. Next is the performance standard for physical development and aesthetics strand. So the code are FK1, FK2, FK3, FK4, FK5, FK6, FK7, FK8, and for the creativity and aesthetics, there are KE1, KE2, KE3, KE4, and KE5. All these have their own construct, performance level, and the descriptor of each construct according to the each strand.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I be to Madam Izzati and also to my other members, which are Staeffy Daeineira and Nadhirah Karmila binti Motali. So without further ado, let's go with the first content. The first content is planning, teaching, and learning activities. So for planning, teaching, and learning activities, teachers should have first long and short-term planning for Pmp activities should be done based on the co-curriculum requirements. So that means the teachers they have to follow the co-curriculum standards to planning the activities for their students. Next, timetable planning based on developments of pupils. and their implementation is flexible. So that means the teachers have to plan a timetable to create the activities that that requires based on the students' levels and the implementation of the activities. So basically, teachers have to create activities that is flexible. Flexible means the students can explore many things in that activities that teachers create. Next, the planning of PNP activities should be following this. First, students' cognitive capabilities and levels. That is the most important things if you want to plan activities for your students. And next, provide an opportunities for pupils to make choices during the activity. So what's the meaning of this statement is the teachers have to give them an opportunities to make them have their own opinion through the activity that they do. Next, provide people sufficient time and chance to explore activities. So this is also the most important things for teacher to create the activities for their children. For their students. They have to give students sufficient time to do to explore the activities so that they can have a lot of benefit through the activities that they do. Next, using PNP materials as reference to help pupils master the concept and knowledge. So this is so that means teachers have to use PNP materials such as textbooks to guide them to master the topic or the concept of the things that they want to learn, and their knowledge also can develop through the PNP materials. Alright, so next, PNP activities need to be diverse and balanced so that students learning is more effective and meaningful. So what's the meaning of this statement is the teachers they have to plan activities that is diverse. Diverse means pelbagai. So why pelbagai? Because why diverse? Because if students learn something that's more to diverse, they can explore many things, and they can also get a lot of benefits through the activities, and the activities also should be balanced. So that why balance? Because if you don't balance the activities in your learning, the students cannot get benefit through it. So that's why teachers have to plan the activities balance so that students also can explore many things, and they also can do the activities with their friends and also individuals. So the example of activity that I can share is the activities such as outdoor and indoor activities, active and passive activities, individual, group, and whole class activities. as well as activities planned by students and activities that also planned by the teacher. So that is that was the example that I can share with you guys. So that's why I said that the activities should be diverse, because there are a lot of activities. So yeah. Next, we move to the teaching and learning strategies. So in the process of PNP, there is no method and strategy that is specifically best to apply in a class that is have a diversity of pupils. So that means in the process of PNP, there is no strategy or method that have been specifically apply in classroom. So alright, so next, teachers need to be smart using various PNP strategies that correspond to the level of knowledge, needs, abilities of the students, talents, and students' interests, so that it can be effective and more meaningful learning. So what's the meaning of this statement is teachers need to plan and be smart to using various PNP strategies that consider this level of knowledge that I said before. So why we have to various the PNP strategies? Because we want the the learning, the teaching and learning in classroom to be more effective and meaningful learning. So for your information, there are various PNP strategies that teachers can use. So the first one is child-centered learning. So what is child-centered learning? So child-centered learning means pupil engage actively in any learning activity, and they also will be given responsibility for their own learning. So that means the students, they can engage or involve in any learning activity, and they also will be given a responsibility to learn what they want. So means they actively involved in many activity, and then they also will be given responsibility to learning in their own way, learning through playing. So basically, learning through playing is the most common strategies that teachers use nowadays. Yeah, that's a fact. Next, what is learning through playing? So learning through playing is an approach that planned and structured to provide opportunities for people to learn in a free, safe, delightful, and meaningful situation. So that means teachers create the activities that interesting, and it requires a lot of games through it. So why choose game? Because they can learn free and have fun with the activities that teacher create for them. So basically, they learn and at the same time they play and have fun with the activities. So it's like a killing two birds with one stone. Alright, so next we have inquiry based learning. What is inquiry-based learning? So inquiry-based on PMP is an approach where pupils build their own knowledge and understanding through investigation and exploration based on their common knowledge. So basically, this is approach that builds students' knowledge and understanding through exploration, through their investigation. So they explore the activities to understand their learning with their common knowledge. So this also this is also the best strategies that that teachers can use for their students. Next, we have integrated approach. What is integrated approach? Integrated approach is an approach that combines two or more skills that need to be mastered by pupil at a time. So means teacher combine two or more skills, for examples like reading and writing. So now we move to the thematic approach. What is thematic approach? Alright, so thematic approach is a co-curriculum management and learning through a selected theme or topic according to time, place, interest, background, and students' development level. So that means these strategies, they focus on the co-curriculum standards that have been created, created, so that the teacher and the students have to follow the selected theme or topic that have been given to them. So basically, in these strategies, teacher teaching the students with based on the selected theme that have been required in that curriculum management. So right now we go to the project-based learning. What is project-based learning? Project-based learning is a learning process that focus on practical assignments in a structured way in a certain period of time. And this teaching method emphasizes study in the form of projects as a way pupils gain their knowledge. And this learning process also typically involves collections or as well as data analysis and preparation of a proper report. So, mastery learning. Mastery learning is an approach to ensuring that all pupils master the learning objectives before moving to the next learning, the next topic. And then, in other words, this basically focus on mastery of pupils in a certain topic they have learned. Next, alright. So right now we move to the contextual learning. Contextual learning is a method of learning that combining content with daily experiences of individual, societies, and the realm of employment. So this method also provide concrete learning involving hands-on and mind-on activities. Learning based on multiple intelligence. So learning based on intelligence is an important theory because this theory has a close relationship with the educational field. And each pupil has a variety of intelligence and ways of pupils think, act, learn is different compared to other pupils. So in these strategies, they focus on the various type of intelligence that pupils have. So for example, like the way they think of something, the way they act, and the way they act sorry so the way they learn the certain topic. Next, we move to the involvement of parents and local communities. So these are the benefits of the involvement of parents and local communities in preschool. So the first one is the explanation of preschool curriculum and implementation to parents or guardians must be held to create awareness on preschool's education, and their cooperation need to be ensured that Pmp can be carried out smoothly and effectively. Next, sharing information between teachers and parents to continuity ensure in learning their kids Pmp from school to home. Okay, next, the third one, good relationship between school, parents, and the local community. This also help to and the involvement of this the school, the parents, and local community. It's help to provide meaningful learning experience and giving positive impact on their children and or the students. Now we move to the third content, which is content organization. So the National Preschool Standard Curriculum is formulated with emphasis on the three main parts of the content standard, learning standards, and performance standards. So let's go with the content standard. So content standard it's a specific statement that students should know and be able to do in a period of time of school, includes knowledge, skill, and value aspects. Next, learning standards. Learning standards are a designation criteria or quality indicators of learning and achievements, which can be measured per standard content. Next, performance standards. Performance standards are a set of general criteria show levels of performance that pupils need to show off as a sign that something has been mastered by pupils or students. Next, minimum time allocation. So the minimum hours provision for preschool shall be compliant as follows. First, preschool should be conducted at least 4 hours a day, including rest time. That is a total of 20 hours per week for children aged 5 and above. Next, preschool should be conducted at least three half an hour a day, including rest time. That is a number of 2 hours per week for children aged 4 and above. And in this preschool, Malay should be used as a language instructional at least 600 minutes a week at preschool classes using Malay language as the intermediate language. Next, Malay language also should be used as a language instructional at least 400 minutes a week at preschool classes that do not use Malay language as the intermediate language. Then, as for English, it should be used as a language instructional at least 600 a week of preschool classes using Malay language as the intermediate language. Next, English also should be used as a language instructional at least 400 minutes a week preschool classes that do not use Malay language as the intermediate language. And for your information, if in a preschool there are 5 pupils or more Muslims, then the people should be given the teaching of Islamic education by the accredited teacher at least 2 hours a week. And then next we have, if kindergarten there are 5 pupils or more non-Muslims, then the students should be given moral education teaching at least 2 hours a week also. Now we move to the Pmp time and location. So the planning of daily activities in preschool must be based on the specified time as set out in schedule 3. This schedule 3. However, teachers are given flexibility in arranging Pmp time schedules according to the needs of the students. So as you can see here, this is the table, the schedule 3 that I've said. So yeah. So I will explain to you about this schedule. So as you can see here, there are 7 fields of learning. So and at the next table, you can see time designation a week, minutes to preschool classes that the language of instruction. So let's go with the field of learning. So field of learning, they are 7, which are Malay language, English language, Chinese Tamil language, outdoor activities, Islamic moral subject, mathematics, integrated learning. So I will explain to you about this. So field of learning, for first Malay language. So Malay language have been used 60 minutes, while intermediate language also and intermediate language also use 60 minutes a week. Next, we move to English language, the second one. Also use 60 minutes for Malay language a week, and the intermediate language also use 60. Next, Chinese Tamil language. For Malay language, they don't use Malay language in the preschool for this language Chinese and Tamil. And intermediate language, they use 60 minutes a week. Next, for outdoor activities, it's required a lot of minutes because it's an activities, outdoor activities. So it's have 120 for Malay language. They use Malay language 120 a week, yeah. And then for intermediate language, they also use 120. Next, the fifth field of learning is Islamic moral subject. So in Malay language they use 120, and for intermediate language they also use 120 minutes. And next we move to the mathematics. So for Malay language they use 40 minutes a week, and it's also same with the intermediate language, 40. Next, 7, integrated learning. They use Malay language 800 minutes a week. So that was a lot of amount. And then for intermediate language they use 740 minutes only. So the total of the use of Malay language and intermediate language for each field of learning is 1200. So right now we go to science and technology trend. So early science emphasize on the formation of attitudes and mastery of science process skills through investigation of living world, material world, and physical world. Next, open completion of learning activities in early science. People can first, this is the benefit that students can get when studying the early science subject. So first, enhance their curiosity and interest of the world around them. Next, the second one, acquire scientific skills and think creatively and critically. The third one, practice scientific attitudes and at the same time the values. Next, fourth one, interact and share information, as well as they can solve the problems in any activities in this subject. Next, we go to early mathematics. So early mathematics provides experience on the concept of pre-number, number concepts, what else? Number operations, money, concept of time, as well as shapes and pass to preschool pupils. Next, open completion of learning activities in early mathematics. Pupils can get first cultivate interest in mathematics through various activities and experiences that teacher have given to them. The second one is acquire basic mathematics concept. Next, enhance thinking and problem solving. So it's quite similar to the early science, but this mathematics they use a lot of numbers, while the science they use a lot of theory, investigation, projects, something like that. So right now we go to the right now we are at the end of the presentation. So the last one, the content that I want to share is humanities strand. So the humanities strand provides opportunities for people to know and appreciate themselves and their self-worth, people around them, their local community, the environment, Malaysia and the world. So people can will be able to understand and appreciate the significances of their roles, responsibilities and contributions, as well as that of other members of their community for the general well-being of society. Knowledge and skills acquired from this strand will prepare people to be individuals who are caring and responsible citizens. So, upon completion of learning activities in the humanity strand, people can first understand the relationship between themselves and their family members, friends, and community. Next, fulfill on responsibilities. So they know how to fulfill their own responsibilities in the future. The third one is be proud of identity and uniqueness of the country. So basically they can they can be proud of their identity and proud of the country that they live in. So it gives them awareness, kesedaran. And next, the fourth one, respect the cultural heritage of various communities in Malaysia. So when they learn these humanities strand, they can respect and know what the culture that we have in our country. So yeah. So next, the fifth one is love the environment. So when learn this humanities strand, in this humanity strand, they can love the environment that they live in. So basically they appreciate what the environment around them. So the last one, respect the global society. So in this humanity strand, they provide students to respect the global society. Global society means international communities, for example, tourists, foreign or something like that. So that's all from me. Thank you so much for lending your time to hear my presentation. So thank you very much and Assalamualaikum.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. So I will continue our presentation about preschool curriculum. So the first part is 21st century skills, where these 21st century skills focus on thinking skills and living skill. It was because in their future it more focus on moral value. So in 21st century skill, it can produce student with first student who are resilient, where in Malay dia seorang yang berdaya tahan. So the student is able to face difficulties with wisdom, confidence, tolerance, and also empathy. So as we can understand, berdaya tahan is seorang yang anything the problems she can she can solve the problem and face the difficulties dengan tenang. So that is resilient. The second one is communicates, where seseorang yang able to communicate, to express their idea and information confidently and creatively in oral and written form. Our child also learn how to become a communicate person, when they can communicate confidently, they can express their ideas without tergagap-gagap. That's the communicators. So the third person is a thinker. Thinker is seseorang yang pemikir, where the student able to think critically, creatively, and innovatively about other tradition, being learners themselves, and also handling new learning areas, where the student with this criteria, they also find for information. Dia lebih kepada seorang student yang more ke depan daripada student yang lain, sebab dia mostly like to find extra information and want to know about life, and also want to persiapkan diri to face the new pattern of learning skills. Okay. The fourth is team spirit, where this student, they can cooperate effectively, share collective responsibility, and respect of contribution of each team in group. So this student quietly easy to cooperate with their friends, where they have kerja kumpulan. This student, dia seorang yang sangat senang untuk dibawa bekerja, because dia ambil berat pasal apa-apa teammate-nya buat, sama ada whether they are doing their work or not. Jadi student team spirit ni, he's the main character in the group yang menggerakkan kerja kumpulan itu. That's the 21st century skill, produce student like this team spirit. So next is student with inquisitive, where inquisitive in Malay is seorang yang mempunyai sifat ingin tahu yang tinggi. So these students are able to develop natural inquisitiveness to explore new ideas, strategies. This student, apa-apa saja, anything they have learned in the classroom, they should able to find extra information or find a new strategy of how they are going to learn any subject. Tidak saja bergantung on the exercise that they got from their teacher. They find the other strategies to get a great mark on certain subject. Okay, the next student that 21st century will produce is a student with virtuos, where virtuos are called as, in Malay we call it seseorang yang berprinsip. So the student with virtuos have a sense of integrity and sincerity, fairness and respect for individuals, groups, and other community. Most of these students are able to become a lead, whether it's a lead for the group or leader for the class or any leader, because they are so honest person. Dia akan buat kerja tu dengan jujur. If there are any challenges, or their friend ask him or her he or her to go to play, and the student refuse to go with them because dia seseorang yang berprinsip ni, bila dia cakap tidak, so tidak lah itu. That's what virtuous. Next is informative, where this informative student, dia seseorang yang bermaklumat, seseorang yang akan menjadi tumpuan kepada rakan-rakan dia yang lain. Most of these student macam second teacher in the class, sebab some of student, they can understand what their teacher talk about or teach about, so they will find their friends to give more explanation. So this informative student obtain and explore knowledge effectively in terms of global and local context across various disciplines. The next part is a student with loving. Students that have a loving or considerate sense, they mostly show empathy, sympathy, and respect toward the other feeling and needs. Most of these students are like to help each other, like to help their friends, and seseorang yang with loving person ni, dia more like to care of anything, whether they speak, they do something, they will think before they do, sebab they care about the other feelings. They, sebelum diorang buat tu, they think if what will they do, right or wrong, it can hurt someone else or anything. The last one is student who show patriotic, able to show their love, support, and respect for their country. Patriotic, as we know, I think most of us know what is patriotic, right? Patriotic is a person that love their country, support with their country, and always give semangat ataupun bagi kerjasama untuk membantu kerajaan. Yang that's the patriotic, like what we always do every year. We celebrate Independence Day. That is what we call as a patriotic. So that's all for 21st century skills part. I will move to the other part, where higher order thinking skills, where we can call it as HOTS. Kalau bahasa Melayunya, ia adalah kehebat, kemahiran berfikir aras tinggi. In preschool, we also use these HOTS because we want them to easy to explore for the next stage of school. Okay. Thinking level HOTS, they have 4 types of thinking level HOTS, which is application, analysis, evaluation, and then creation. Using knowledge, skills, and value in different situations, where seseorang, when they learn in class, school, they apply in their daily life. Analysis is ability to break information into smaller parts. As we know, analysis in Malay is analysis. Analysis is when we got exercise or assignment, we go through with that question, and we separate the information in smaller parts so that we can solve the problems or challenges. That is the thinking level of analysis. Evaluation is ability to make a consider and decision. Evaluation is we think of something and we give judgment of that. Creation is produce something with creative and innovative. I think this creation level ni, all of us know what is creation, produce something with creative and innovative. HOTS also have thinking skills. In thinking skills, they also have 4 types, same as the thinking level. Critical reading is someone with ability to think rationally and logically of any ideas. Creative thinking is someone they are able to create or produce something new with creativity. Reasoning is someone who have ability to make consideration and evaluation logically and rationally. For thinking strategies, thinking that focused on structure and problem solving. Thinking strategies is more like on how to solve a problem. Okay, that's all for the HOTS, KBAT. We move to learning environment. Learning environment is all around the students, whether it's in classroom, at Padang, or in Dewan, or anything. Yang penting it's around the student. We call it as learning environment. The first part in learning environment is safety and health. We can, as we know, as a teacher, we should take good care of our student safety and health. So in their environment, their atmosphere around them, we need to keep it safe and health. First, clean and safe space, furniture, equipment and materials. We should produce a clean furniture. They have a space so that our student tidaklah terlanggar-langgar, terasa sempit. Their equipment also good, and the materials senang untuk they solve. The second is appropriate lighting and ventilation. Ventilation is, I think we should highlight this ventilation because preschool most of them are student around 4 to 6 years student, di mana diorang ini masih aktif. Some of them are terlebih aktif, so ventilation in the class must be appropriate lah, so that tiada student yang terasa panas, lepas tu senang kena asthma and so forth. The third is a safe natural environment that stimulates learning. Okay, next is layout. The layout should be flexible according to lesson plan. Susun atur di kelas tu should be according to the lesson plan. As an example, if you are doing a reading book together with student, you can ask them to sit around you. That's what we call as layout. Kedudukan diorang tersusun sesuai dengan the learning lesson. The second is have a space for movement and activities. As I mentioned before, the class should have a space so that student can easily go around the school, go around the classroom. And also for the equipment and resources are rearranged neatly and accessible, easy for our student to access the equipment. Student work should be prioritized and displayed so that the student can feel like their work appreciate from their teacher, and also the other friends can see how they work. The last part, in school environment, in primary school curriculum, we should have a learning centers. Learning centers is most like satu sudut pembelajaran where the student can sit at there at any time to learn anything. And learning center should be encourage individual and collaborative play. And also learning centers are full with learning material like globe, mini library, and so on and so forth. The first part of strength is communication. There are 4 languages in communication strength, which are Malay, English, and Chinese, also Indian. But I will focus on these 2 languages only. It's Malay and English. The first is Malay. Objective for this communication strength: number 1, listen and respond using appropriate verbal and non-verbal responses. Second, communicate and giving any ideas. Third, read and understand simple sentences. Fourth, write words, phrase, and simple sentences. So let's take a look for the DSKP of Malay language. That's all for Malay language. And let's go through with English language. For English language objective, first, listen and respond using appropriate verbal and non-verbal responses. Communicate using simple sentences with manners. And then read and understand simple sentences. Write word and phrase. also have Chinese and Indian, but I only focus on these two language. But I believe that Chinese and Chinese and Indian, they also have the same DSKP like in Malay and English, where they learn what is the letter, the latest name, the syllable, the phrase, and they learn how to read, writing, and so on and so forth. Next, we are going to go through with physical development and aesthetic strength. Number one is physical development and healthcare. Objective for physical development: a student can carry out various fine motor and gross motor movement, carry out movement, explore various movement, carry out various manipulative skills, practice healthy lifestyle, and then protect oneself and understand the importance of personal safety. That's for the physical development. We move to second part, which is creativity and aesthetics. The objective of this standard, they can appreciate various music genres, move according to more music heard. Mostly in this part, they learn about music, drama, and then visual art. They are learning what is the music. They can apply knowledge in visual art production, produce creative works using various techniques and materials, and then they act out various characters according to the story. So let's take a look.
So as we done with the DSKP, of course the preschool curriculum also have a performance level. In the next slide, it will have 1, 2 and 3, which is 1 is for the lower performance level, 2 is for medium, and 3 is a high level performance level. So let's get started.
Assalamualaikum.